Hello friends, welcome to a shot of code. Today we're looking at the optional chaining operator and the nullish coalescing operator. When we use these two together, we should be writing a lot less code to check for whether properties exist before trying to access them. Let's jump in and have a look at an example. Okay, I've got a code pen open here. I'm just going to create a user object that we can use to show how this works. So let's have a user. We'll give him a name, like so, and an age, like so, and then also an address, and in there we'll just have a country at the moment, say New Zealand, like that. Now if we wanted to output some of the properties of user, we can access it like so. Let's do a document.write and user dot name. Now that should appear for us up here. Undefined, no, alpha, thank you, that's a little better. And if we want to access a subproperty, so let's do user dot address dot country. That again should come up there, New Zealand, no problems. Let's just give that a little gap so we can see it a bit better. Like so. Okay, so that's all fine. Now the problems start to occur when we're accessing something that we don't know is necessarily on the object. So say we had an optional height on there and we tried to access that. So let's go user.height. What will we get there? We'll get an undefined. There's no error. The code will continue to completion. Let's show that just by putting completed down here. Probably got another new line there just to see it. Okay, so we can see that that's fine, it's completed. Now, what happens when we access a subproperty? Other property doesn't exist. So height dot, say there was a conversion we were thinking might be there, a metric conversion. Okay, so that's different now. We've noticed we're getting the name and the country, but then we're not getting our completed. And that's because rather than just getting an undefined value, we're actually getting an exception now. So if we come in here, we're getting an uncaught exception here, and that is stopping the program from completing. So what we would normally do up until now is to check if that property exists. So we could do something like if user and user.height and user.metric, then we might do that there. And we could put an else in here and say not available, like so. So that's how you might defensively write in these situations. So it's quite verbose. It can get quite hard to read depending on how you do it. You might use this method or something more concise like a ternary operator, but again harder to read in that case. So what we've got now with chaining and nullish coalescing is the ability to put this all into one line. So I can get rid of my not available. Well, now let's get rid of the check here first. So this check can be replaced by the optional chaining operator, which is a question mark after the property that you're not sure if it's going to exist or not. So I'll need to take this out just so it's valid code again. So this should now run for us, although I do need to add in Babel or Babel, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Both of these things we're looking at today, which I probably should have mentioned at the start, I think, at the time of this recording are in stage 3. They are not in the browsers at the moment, so you would need to use Babel and TypeScript, which even at this point isn't even in TypeScript, but it's coming quite quick. I think if you're watching this in the future, it's hopefully in your browser already. Right, so we can see now we're getting down to the completion here by using this optional chaining question mark in there. And now what we can also then do to provide that default value is add a double question mark for the nullish coalescing, and we can say default value in there, and we can see now it's picking it up when that property isn't there. So say we added the height back on now, like so. Give that there. We're still going to get the default value at the moment because of the metric. So let's do metric in there and give it that height. So what we should see now is that value coming up, which it does. So there you go. Optional chaining and nullish coalescing. Create some pretty nice looking code, I think, in my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe if you want to see some more. If you didn't like it, just click the dislike if you want. But I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.